You will not violate my rights.
Back up.
No,
back up.
You got to stay back.
You guys need to back up.
Do not block my phone.
Stay right there, we won't have a problem.
I will stay where I want on my land.
If you don't walk over here, we won't have a problem.
What are you going to do to me, sir?
I'm not going to do anything
I am not
for
doing
your
anything
protection, For your
unconstitutional.
protection, I'm asking you to stand back.
For my protection?
Something happens, and you get involved in something that may hurt you.
Okay. All right.
Are you going to receive some clothes for me?
Yeah, we'll get you some clothes and stuff. All right? Go ahead and have a seat for us, all right? We'll get you some clothes. Yeah, come on, Brandon. Yes, we will. Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
I'm going to do anything you see back in too, all right? No, he doesn't need it. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll just take him as is.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
Can you please take your glasses off? Sir. Sirs. Both of you, please take your glasses off. I'm asking you.
No, we'll not.
I mean, I've got your face anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so you don't need to take my glasses off. Right? You want to get my face.
Be with you. May God be with you. Go with him, God. Get some license plates in here.
Show. I have the president of the Rutherford Institute. Rutherford.org is his website, and he's also the lead attorney on the Brandon Raub case. Mr. Whitehead, welcome to the Pete Santilli Show. We'd like to get an update from you on the Brandon Raub case.
Thank you.
Well, sir,
yeah, what's happened now is he was, last Thursday, he was arrested, handcuffed, taken away into a mental institution, placed in a mental institution. The police did not charge him with the crime, and they're not, because they said he committed no crime. It was because of his public Facebook statements and part of a private gang group he was playing. Most of the controversial statements came out of this gang group. It was him, his brother, and another fellow basically goofing around. And so those got published, and some people supposedly complained, and he was arrested and taken away to an insane asylum.
Did they indicate who actually filed the complaint? And by the way, we're very, very concerned as citizens that if anyone can just pick up the phone and file a complaint against me about remarks on my Facebook, could I be taken away, or could anyone in America be taken away?
At his hearing Monday, they listed some people he had never heard of. So it could be anybody on your Facebook. Some people he did know, but what it says is if someone doesn't like you and you quote some, like I said, John Lennon, the Beatle, former Beatle, was very, very radical in the 70s and when he lived in New York. If you quoted some of his stuff about overthrowing the government, somebody could complain if you put it on your Facebook, and you could end up like this guy. There are thousands of people in Virginia that are committed each year through this process. And the amazing thing is, and what's scary is, and I say this case gives me the creeps, is that he's not committed a crime. He's not been charged with the crime. They say he's not going to be charged with the crime, but they put him in a mental institution because of what he believes. He's a 9/11 truther and a Ron Paul libertarian.
Yes, sir. Now, I understand you filed a motion to have him returned. Are you also filing a motion to have him released? I mean, it seems like there's no justification.
Yeah, what happened is last night they moved him at about 11:30 at night to 3.5 hours away from his lawyers and his family in another psychiatric institution, a VA institution. And so we filed a motion to have him move back to the Richmond area where he lives, where his mom is at. And, of course, she's very concerned. And so are the lawyers and myself, because it'd be difficult to have access to him. And we're filed a motion now to contest the hearing Monday because that wasn't properly carried forth. And probably we're looking at filing a motion, a habeas corpus motion, which is a motion to have him brought out of the institution before a judge and have the state really prove their case, because they have not here.
Now, the determination to have him institutionalized essentially was done by, from what I understand, a judge that was at the facility where he was housed. Is that correct?
Yeah, what they call a special justice. He's a lawyer. He works with the institution that he was initially put in. So that in and of itself is a little trouble. He's an older fellow who's been there for many years.
Now, that decision was based, and from what I understand, it was a brief review of the circumstances regarding Brandon Raubs' case. Can you disclose to us as to what information he used to make that determination that he should be institutionalized or held for 30 days?
His Facebook posts and people who complained.
Wow. That's amazing.
So it could happen to anybody. Like I said, if you make the wrong statement today on Facebook or a text message, by the way, those are very dangerous because they're downloaded. Be very, very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Don't joke. I mean, we live in a surveillance state. In fact, you go to our website at Rutherford.org. I wrote an article, went up on our website Monday, called The Corporate Surveillance State. That's true. It's all footnoted. Facebook and all the large corporations are giving over all of our information to the police. So if you do, I mean, we get this from students, by the way, high school students who say the teachers stink. We're finding out that the schools actually are reading kids' Facebook pages and disciplining students for criticizing the teachers on their own time at home.
That is absolutely bone-chilling. Wow. Now, having him move to Salem as well, how does that change his case? And what are you doing above and beyond what you've disclosed here to actually fight this case so that it doesn't happen again?
We're doing everything. We've already filed 2 motions. We're getting ready to file a writ of habeas corpus. We're doing everything we can. I'll be honest, it's radio interviews like this that are really important. Veteran groups contacted me last night. Several veteran groups are planning on doing demonstrations. That's good. So everybody working together here. It's the law, to be honest with you, that moves very slowly. Unfortunately, in America, I often say we really don't have a lot of courts of justice in America. We have courts of order, and the judges there keep order. So they move slowly. I mean, I think we have a good case, but the more media we get, and the veterans are really upset across the country. That's great, and they should be, because in my opinion, I think it's veterans that get many of these instances I'm seeing. Veterans are targeted.
Yes, sir. I absolutely agree. Now, how can we stay abreast? In addition to regular interviews, do you have a website where we can get ongoing updates on Brandon Raubs'
case?
I'd
go to Rutherford.org. That's Rutherford.org. And read the commentaries on there and then the news updates. But this is going to be, it's an ongoing situation. So,
you know, one last question, and back to, because I'm thinking about this arrest and just the limited information that we had at the beginning. It was said that Secret Service and the FBI were involved. Is it true that the Secret Service were present during that arrest? Were they supervising or had jurisdiction over that arrest?
The local police were acting as their arms, yes.
Okay, but they stated...
They were just doing the handcuffing.
Yes. Now, they stated that he was not under arrest. And, I mean, in my state, in California, if you're placed in handcuffs and put into the back of a police car... that is an arrest, correct? Is it any different?
Yeah. They were either lying or putting out propaganda. He was handcuffed. Once you're handcuffed, you're arrested, yes.
That is an arrest. So he was formally arrested but not charged, correct?
Not charged. See, and what happened, they didn't have an arrest warrant. Neither did they have a search warrant because he committed no crime, and he wasn't even suspected of committing a crime. So they didn't have anything to actually arrest him for in the traditional sense. But under the law here, they can go out in this state in civil commitment and arrest you, put handcuffs on you, and take you to a mental institution without charging you with a crime.
Wow! And you know,
it's a chilling case. It gives me the creeps, like I said.
It is, and you know, we have a lot of sympathy towards him, and I'm just thinking maybe privately had he made any comments saying, you know, I may need some help and maybe I need to speak with somebody. Or is he just being flat out held against his will, falsely arrested?
He's never seen a psychiatrist, never been on medications, no. He's as befuddled as anybody over this thing.
Has he talked to any counselors since he's been institutionalized?
He had a 15-minute psychiatric examination when they put him in the insane asylum, which is what it is. And that's what they determined. But it was based on his Facebook post, which means if a psychiatrist disagrees with what you're saying on Facebook, you can be committed to a mental hospital.
That is unbelievable, Mr.
It's
Whitehead.
chilling. Yes, that's right. It's very chilling.
We wish you the best of luck. We're going to stay abreast.
What are you going to do to me, sir?
I'm not going to do anything
I
to
am
you.
not
For
doing
your
anything
protection, For your
unconstitutional.
protection, I'm asking you to stand back.
For my
before
protection?
something happens. And you get involved in something that may hurt you. That is all I'm saying.
All right.
Are you going to... You will not violate my rights.
Back up.
You're so close to me.
Yeah, we'll get you some clothes and stuff, all right? Go ahead and have a seat for us, all right? We'll get you some clothes. Yeah, come on, Brandon. Yes, we will. Thank you, sir.
You need to stay
Back up.
You got to stay back.
You guys need to back up.
Do not block my phone.
Stay right there. We won't have a problem.
I will stay where I want on my land.
If you don't walk over here, we won't have a problem.